Art. Uh, yeah, the only reason I wanted to watch it was because of Dio from EXO. He's in this, and he's not an actor, obviously. He's an idol, and I kept hearing that he won, like, or at least was considered for a bunch of awards for his performance, and that he was fantastic, and all the actors were, like, praising him, and I've seen other people say that he's, like, the best actor among idols, and I was like, what is this? So I sat down to watch it, and he's not a main character in this. He's a secondary character, but he was good. This movie was not really for me, I guess. It started off well, but at the end of it, I was just so bored, and it was so slow, and I feel like nothing paid off. It's about a group of women working at a supermarket, and they get fired. It's like, I think it was like 50 people or something. I'm not sure if they mention it, but they have 5 months left in their contract, and they get fired. Now, they have a month's notice and all that, but they have families to take care of, and they have children and financial issues, and they need this job, and so they decide to go on strike, which becomes very extreme because they go on strike, which is a right. I assume. I have no idea what the laws in South Korea are, but it looks like it seems like the laws aren't as strict as they are here, I guess. I live in Spain, and I'm literally learning this in school about firings and all that, and it just seemed weird to me because I'm not familiar with the laws there, but it seems to me that it was completely illegal that the company would fire them like this, and they still have their contracts, and that's why they went on strike. Now the company completely refuses to talk to them because they're all just women, and they're like, whatever, just let them do whatever they want, and it becomes very extreme to the point where they sleep in the store, and they close it down, and the company tries to hire temporary workers to replace them, and then it's like a big fight in the middle of the store, and all the clients are pissed. They're like, it's not our fault, and they're like, no, but understand us that the company is doing something illegal, and they're like, we don't care, and no one is really helping them. It was very sad to watch. I mean, I know this happens all the time, but I figured there would be laws for this. I wouldn't think that the company can just do this, but I guess they can. If not, if it's really like this in Korea, then yeah, this movie makes sense. But if it's not, this movie makes no sense, because the extremes that they go to, I mean, they stay in the supermarket, and the company hires people to come and take them out of it by force, to a point where people get physically injured. I don't think that's legal. And then the company starts firing more people. So now more people are on the side of, are on the workers' side, I guess, and they get more and more attention. But it was never explained why the company just decided to fire these people. I assume that they're having financial issues. This was never mentioned as far as I was paying attention, but as far as I understood, it wasn't really established why they would need to fire all these people. I mean, who's going to work there? Later on, they mentioned that the company will be bought by someone else, but they still need workers. Like, you don't need to fire everybody. So I don't know if this movie is actually accurate. It seems like it's, if it is, that's really sad. That's just really sad if this movie is accurate and this happens for real, and the company just refuses to talk about what's happening, and they just completely, they blackmail the workers into coming back to work, and they threaten them, and I figured there would be laws for this. If you get fired, you know, you just can't get fired like this for no reason. The company needs to justify this massive firing. And I feel like the movie didn't really go into that at all, and I feel like the movie didn't really give a satisfying conclusion to this story. I was not okay with the ending at all, and it sort of focused on their strike, and it sort of focused on their lives at home, but not enough. There was a character there that had a son and had a family, and they didn't really focus on her at all. But then they focused on the main woman, who is Dio's mom, and he has a little sister, and they focused a lot on his character as well, which was, I mean, it was okay, but it didn't really fit. They focused a lot on him in school, like he doesn't have money to pay for lunch, and he doesn't have money for like the school trip that they're having, and he's trying to, I guess, get money for himself, so he gets a job, and he's being mistreated, and his boss doesn't treat him fairly and doesn't pay him fairly. And I liked that they included that in the story, like, look, this can happen to anybody, both his mom and him. Even though they're different ages, they're different people, they work in different places, but it can still happen. I like that, and I like that she was there to protect him. But his story was completely irrelevant, like him getting mad at his mom for not being home. It's like, just tell your kid that you lost your job, like, you're striking, and he's like, and then she tells him, and then he's like, you're never home anyways, and their story was a bit just thrown in there, like, look, she's having problems at home. And we get it, but it was a bit out of place. I wanted to see more of the other characters' home life. I mean, if we had seen more of the other characters' home life, then this would make sense. But it was just her, and it was sort of irrelevant to the main story and the strike and everything that was happening at the store. And besides that, I mean, it was very slow. It was just very slow. It started off well, and then I was like, okay, I'm getting into this. It's been like 40 minutes, right? And then I look at it, it's been like 30, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be one of those. Yeah, it felt a bit long, and it felt like there wasn't a payoff at the end. I wasn't satisfied with the ending. I wasn't happy with the way it left off, even though it was very powerful, it was very dramatic. I wanted it to continue. I wanted to see more, and I feel like I didn't get any closure on any of the characters. And I liked the characters; they were good. There wasn't like a definitive ending. I don't know if this is like based on anything, like on a true story, or at least inspired by a true story. I have no idea, but I really hope that this movie is not accurate, because if it is, I feel like there should be more laws regarding these type of situations. No one was helping them. No one cared what the company was doing. So yeah, I'm gonna put the trailer at the end, and hopefully you get the idea. It's a bit slow, so yeah, I'm glad I watched it. It was interesting. It definitely gives another perspective on, I guess, workers and strikes like this, and the Big Bad Company, as always. I feel like it was not developed well. They were just the mean bosses. They never went into detail about who their managers are and who the CEO is and why this is happening. I feel like this would have been a much better piece if we had seen both sides. This is very one-sided. The Big Bad Company is firing all the poor people that need the jobs. It's very one-sided, and I feel like we should have seen something more. But yeah, I'm gonna put the trailer at the end, and you can decide if you want to see it or not. It's not a movie that I would recommend to anybody. I mean, I guess to anybody. But yeah, tell me what you think.
고객은 왕이다.
고객 감동 서비스
회사가 살아야
우리가 산다.
엄마 바꿔줄게. 핸드폰.
곧 정직원 돼서 월급 오르거든.
오늘 시간 괜찮으시죠? 두 분 까대기 좀 도와줘.
그런 사정이 있어서.
김미진.
아는 애니?
대학 동창.
벌점 50점 넘으면 반성으로 쓰는 거 아시죠? 이주연!
장감이 천안 몰기가.
네, 여사님. 화이팅!
큰일 났어요. 빨리 나와봐요. 빨리.
여기 있는 사람들이 전부 이해를 못한단 말이요.
엄마!
이거 부당할 거예요. 회사의 일방적인 계약 위반이라고요.
계약직이 암만 팔아먹습니라도 이건 아니다.
다른 방법을 써야 할 것 같아요. 파업이요.
파업이요? 마 인자 간판 치러 가입시다.
그래도 협상에 나가봐야 되지 않을까요?
좀 있으면 진짜 떨어지겠지. 아줌마들이 해봤자지 뭐.
회사가 언제 만류해서 들어준 적 있어요?
엄마가 며칠 집에 못 올 거야. 저희가 바라는 건 대단한 게 아닙니다. 저희의 얘기를 좀 들어달라는 겁니다. 나라는 꿈도 못 꾼 일은 네 덕분에 했어.